Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about my bullet journal, which is the ZenArt Supplies B5 bullet journal. Let me scroll up on their page and talk about some of their claims and everything. This journal is $12.95 USD. The description, or the title of it is an artist leather-bound bullet journal B5 7x10 in black or turquoise. I actually didn't measure it when I bought it, but it is just shy of 7 and just shy of 10. So their claims are right on the size, so that's a good start. Notebooks and journals are very popular with writers, artists, and anyone else who wants a convenient place to record their thoughts, daily plans, long-term goals. The ZenArt Classic Dotted Notebook is an excellent way to have a bullet journal and track your current projects, plans for future ones. Having everything in one place helps you stay organized and focused, which I totally agree with. This actually comes in two colors. It comes in black with purple printed on the side and turquoise with black and white printed on the side, which is the one that I have. This is actually not my bullet journal. This is the second one that I bought because there were like 4 left on Amazon, and I didn't want to get halfway through the year and have to buy another one and not be able to get it. But as you can see on the sides, there's like printing. So that's kind of nice, like the edges of the pages are printed on. I will say that I was planning on color coding the side of my journal, there's like a boho berry thing that she used to do in her bullet journal where she'd color code the side, so you could like find certain things. I was planning on doing that. I am not doing that because I don't want to ruin the aesthetic on the sides. It is a B5, it's fountain pen, it claims to be fountain pen friendly, non-bleed notebook with stitch and glued lay flat binding and perfectly aligned dotted paper, making it a joy to use on a single spread or across 2 pages. It is created with a soft, scratch-resistant PU leather cover, elegant edge printing, 160 pages, 80 sheets of high-quality, acid-free, 100 DSM ivory paper. It has 2 ribbon bookmarks and an expandable pocket, perfect for business cards, photos, or other reference materials. The bound notebook is handmade using biodegradable and recyclable materials. The B5 is a size which is between A4 and A5, so it's just right for all of your daily needs. And then ZenArt Supplies offers a 100% money back guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied, let us know and we'll make it right. And I do believe that their return policy, or that 100% money back guarantee, means that they will either send you a new product or they will refund you for the one that you have, which is great. It's really nice, actually, and they responded so quickly to my emails with questions, so that's really nice. They are a London-based family business. From what I know, they're very, very, very small. I literally got an email from like one of the names that I could find on their about page, so like it's a very, very small company, which I actually really like. I like how like small and like personal everything feels when I'm communicating with them. But yeah, I'm just gonna hop right into this. So obviously this isn't like my first impressions of this notebook. I have another one in my backpack across the room. That is my bullet journal. Let me grab that one real quick, actually. So this second one is my bullet journal. They're exactly the same. Like nothing surprising with that or anything. I've used Tombos in here. I've layered Tombos. I layered Tombos for that. This is some pretty heavy Tombow for my January cover page. These are Pigma Microns. I've used some Pilot G2s. Yeah, lots of stuff. And it has held up to all of it. It does ghost, which I actually don't think that you can see very well on camera. But I actually really don't mind that. Normally I would, but it really holds up to just about everything. But yeah, I did this like big swatch page, and you can like barely see it through the other side, which is really nice. I did do watercolor in here, and this wrinkling on the side is my fault. Like, that's normal. It's normal for, like, bullet journal type paper to do that. And I just couldn't. I did my best to get it, like, ironed out as smooth as possible. But when you're doing watercolor, just be sure that your page, it'd probably be smart to, like, tape it down or something where you're not going to end up, like, buckling the paper too much, but I really don't mind that. That's pretty much what I expected from 100 GSM paper versus watercolors. My habit tracker and my calendar. These are my dailies. The bullet journal method book club. I pasted the whole page in here with all of the dates and everything. And then I'm working on my stationery review YouTube series. A lot of that's going to happen in a Lamome journal, I think. I haven't really, like, decided exactly how I want to do all of this, but I am going to be working on that. With the lay flat claim, I will say that it does lay flat. I'm not touching it, but as you can see, I did have to do a little bit of, like, smoothing down to get it to do that. If I just opened up to, like, a random page in the middle of a notebook, it's not going to stay flat. But that's pretty much true with all notebooks, so I can't really fault them for that. And I don't think anybody really would. What else? The ribbons are long enough that you don't have to do your, like, the little shimmy thing at the end, so you can, like, actually grab them and pull them and everything, and they go all the way to the edge, which is really nice. A lot of journals have really short ribbons. You couldn't even see what I was doing. But a lot of journals have short ribbons that end, like, really, really close to the bottom of the book, and then you can't actually get around to open the notebook, and you kind of have to, like, and I don't like doing that. What else did they claim? The paper is very, very thick, which I really, really like. It feels really, really good. It's 100 GSM, which is the same as Lamome, I believe, but it feels, like, much thicker. It also has a nice little bit of a texture to it. I feel like with Lamome and Leuchtturm and Scribbles That Matter pages, they end up having, like, a coating or some kind of, like, smoothness added to the page, which I actually really don't like, especially considering I use Tombows and watercolor a lot in my journal. But this paper has, like, a little bit of a texture to it, whereas, like, compared to a Scribbles That Matter, which I'm pulling out right now, it's, like, very, very smooth, and it's, like, very clear that it's very smooth. Just as a color comparison, it's, like, it's, like, the same color as a Scribbles That Matter. The dots are much, much lighter and much smaller than a Scribbles That Matter dot, though, which is really nice. If you're an artist like me and you wanted to use this as a sketchbook, although they do make sketchbooks, but if you wanted to use this as a sketchbook, you could definitely do that because the dots are, like, super duper light. If I go back to my cover page, like, really, you literally can't see the dots through where I watercolored. And I'm sure if I sketched in here, the dots would just fade away, which is really nice. But they're clear enough that if I, like, start writing and I start looking at the page, I can notice them. What else? The cover, the only thing I worry about with the cover is when you open it, that you can kind of see this little... Maybe not. Maybe you can't see it. But there's this little, like, seam happening. And I'm really hoping that the cover doesn't, like, break off or anything. I don't think that it will. But it's definitely taking some wear. But that's kind of what happens with notebooks, so I can't really be surprised by that or fault them for that or anything. And I think I mentioned everything. Oh, the perfectly aligned dots. They are. Which is really nice. Actually, sometimes with less expensive notebooks, you end up getting, with pages that aren't quite aligned. Hopefully my head's not getting into this shot. But as you can see, that ruler is right on a line of dots, and they're, like, lined up perfectly. So it's really nice for that. I'm not somebody that really uses spreads that go across the page, but if you're somebody that likes giant spreads, that would be really good for you. So I figured we would I do have a pen test in the back of this notebook, my bullet journal, because I did test it before I started everything, but I figured that we would do one in the back of this one. I haven't decided what I'm going to use this for yet. I'm not sure how long I'll be able to use the one that I already started as my bullet journal. Oh, I forgot to mention the pocket. Yeah, there's a pocket in the back. I like that it's cut off on part of the page. The only thing I'll say is that at first, I haven't like opened this one at all. They are a little bit tough to open, but once you like stretch it out and stuff, it gets like it works better. But yeah, that's the only other thing. And there's glitter all over my apartment because one of my kids gave us bags that had lots of glitter all over them, so sorry about that. But I figured we'd do a live pen test in here with all of the pens that I use, which is a lot of pens. I also thought that we would do the dot count across and the dot count down, which is something that I really like doing. I'm going to be taking my gray, if I can get it out of this container, my gray, hello? Oh, my pens are like stuck in here. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember what the name was. My gray Zebra Sarasa to do this, and the way that I like to do it is I like to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then draw a line that's like 2 dots wide, and then just go straight across and do the same. And I'm not gonna count them. I'm just gonna copy it from the other one, to be honest. I can't be bothered with all that. Just gotta hold it down with one of my watercolor jars. So it is 31 dots across. Sorry, trying to get stuff out of the way. I can zoom in for you guys too. It is 31 dots across, so I'm going to write 31 right here, and then I'll take my ruler. If you have a flat surface, it happens in both the front and the back of this notebook, but that happens with, again, like every notebook. It's a little bit difficult to use a ruler on, just because there's like nothing behind it. But if you press down nice and firm, a ruler does work fine. We'll draw that line. And then I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going the other way. 2, 3, 4, 5. And draw that line going across. And I believe it's like 47 lines going up and down. Yeah, 47. So I'll try and make sure that I'm like actually writing in the space. I think I got it. It's so faint. This is a gray pen, which I actually really love. I like writing in gray pen versus pencil if I'm like taking notes or something to kind of differentiate between things. But I will admit that this pen, especially on camera, is very, very, very light, so I apologize if you guys can't see this. But I will try and color correct so that you guys can. I'll put that pen away, actually, and grab, oh shoot, I don't have my Tombos out. I'll use an Inkjoy to write pen test. So now, the moment of truth, the reveal on the other side. So as you can see, right off the bat, nothing bled. There is some ghosting with most of them. The finer pens don't really ghost as much. Obviously, the bigger ones do. But even with the watercolors, let me just put this here just to make sure that I don't smear it onto the other page. But even with the watercolor and the Arteza, they don't bleed through. They do, the watercolor does warp the paper a little bit, which is totally normal for 100 GSM paper. But it is nice to use if you use very little water, very sparingly. Yeah, so it's nice to be able to use watercolors in your bullet journal if you're somebody like me. But yeah, that's it. It's a really, really good quality notebook. So far I can stand up to pretty much anything. Somebody actually did ask me to try and use my alcohol markers in here, but I'm not going to because I don't want this to turn into another sketchbook. I literally already have two. I have two B5 Scribbles That Matter that I use as a sketchbook, but I'm trying to transfer one into something for my new job that I'm hopefully getting. But yeah, I don't need to turn this into a sketchbook or anything like that. But as you can see, it holds up really well. I hate Staples gel pens because they smudge like that. You probably can't even see it, but it literally just smudged all over the place, and I knew that it would. But for the rest of them, they dry down pretty quickly. They don't really move. They don't transfer on any other paper except for the Staples, which is part of why I'm rubbing the living daylights out of it. But yeah, they definitely hold up really well, and this notebook is a really, really nice buy. So if you're looking for a little bit of a bigger bullet journal, I would definitely recommend this one. I'm not sponsored by them or affiliated in any way, but I do plan on trying out their B5 sketchbook because it is thicker paper. I can't remember exactly how thick it is. I'm trying to look right now. But they have a B5 and a B6 sketchbook with plain covers or spotted covers, and they have 120 GSM paper. So I'm actually a little bit curious to see how 120 GSM paper holds up, because a lot of people, in the pictures at least, it looks like they're using them for watercolors, which would be a really nice thing to be able to use. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Fair warning, I am doing a series reviewing all of the bullet journal supplies that I use and have. So pretty much all of my stationery, all my markers, all my pens. Yeah, there was a whole list, and I have a whole list, and it's a lot. But those will be coming out on Tuesdays, so every week I'll come out with a review for something new. I'm in the process of setting up a system for doing that in one of my other old bullet journals that I had some pages left in. So that's happening, and that's coming, and Tuesdays are going to be review days for a little while. But once that's over, we will get back into doing art videos and paint with me's and stuff, and I'm sure that I'll pepper them in when I get bored of reviewing all of my pens. But anyways, reviews are coming on Tuesdays, and I will see you guys in the next video.